Hey guys, this is Terry White, just following up on the unboxing video I did a little bit earlier on the Apple Watch. Basically, I've got it all set up now, so let's just take a look. There it is, just a quick twist of the wrist and that activates it. So let me give you a quick tour of the watch itself, and then I'll show you a little bit more about the apps and setup. So first of all, which one am I wearing? I'm wearing the 42 millimeter sport watch. So this is the aluminum one, the lowest cost one. And well, 38 millimeter would be the lowest cost. So this is the second lowest cost one. And I'm wearing it with the white band because when you get the silver sport, your choices of band are white, blue, green, and pink. And none of those other colors would feel comfortable. So I ordered the white one knowing that I would also order the black sports band to go with it. So the black band is currently on back order. Hopefully I'll get it sometime next week or soon. But this is what it looks like just out of the box. Now you do get, like I showed in the unboxing, you do get a second band that is your small medium band, and I've got the medium large one on it. So this is how thick it is on my wrist. Now some people might say, hey, it looks tight, and you're supposed to keep it kind of snug against your arm so that you get the taptic notifications, so it can also detect your heart rate and things like that. Otherwise, if it's too loose, it may not feel any of those things or be able to detect them. And although it might appear snug, it actually feels very comfortable. I like the band itself, other than the color. I do want the darker color. So with that said, let's take a look at the controls. Basically, you have the touch screen, you have the digital crown, and you have the, I don't know what they call the second button, but you have the second button. So you can activate the watch simply by a gesture. That will bring it up, so just by raising your arm to tell the time, and that will show you the time and then go away. But if you want to interact with it, of course, you can press the digital crown, and you can then swipe up for what are called glances. So for example, it's showing me the last glance that I took a look at, which is actually a third-party app called Flight Track. You can swipe left and right to get to your various glances. So for example, the Adobe Behance app was there. This is Pandora. This is the Creative Cloud app from Adobe. This is the Maps app detecting my current location. One of the weather apps, the Stocks app. You get the idea. So most of your apps can be set up with glances, and then you can just simply swipe left or right to get to them. Now I've got the Do Not Disturb on, and it basically detected that from my phone because I put my phone on Do Not Disturb to record this video. So the phone wouldn't ring and I wouldn't get any notifications. So I'm not going to get any notifications on the watch because it's mirroring what's going on the phone. So with that said, I can go back to the main time display, press the crown again, and that will take you out to your apps. Let's see if I can get you a better app display here. You can pan around the apps, and for example, here's the Passbook app. I can tap that. That will show me my basically my cards I've got set up for Apple Pay. So if I can bring one of those up, there we go. You can tap or double click to pay. So if I double click, that'll bring it up and ready to pay whenever I hold it near the terminal. I can also swipe to the next cards that I want to use. So for example, if I'd rather pay with one of the American Express cards, I can do that as well. Let's go back to the crown. And of course, any of your passes, there we go, any of your passes that you have in Passbook are automatically brought over. So I've got boarding passes, digital coupons, loyalty cards. For example, there's my Walgreens card, and they would just be able to scan the barcode right from my watch. Very, very cool. Okay, let's go back out, and again, swipe around for your apps. Now, when it comes to customizing what you see here, which apps you have, what order they're on, you can do some of this on the actual Apple Watch, but it's way easier to just bring up the Apple Watch app on your iPhone, because you do need an iPhone to use the Apple Watch anyway, so you're going to have an iPhone to do this. And there's just a dizzying array of settings and controls you can do, and whatever you do here on the iPhone is instantly carried over to the watch because you pair the watch during the setup process so it knows your phone. Now I've also got the watch set up with a security code. And even if I didn't have it set up with a security code, let's say I lose the watch, someone takes it, or I forget it, you can't use my Apple Pay because it would detect that it's not on my wrist, and therefore it will ask you for the passcode, which you wouldn't have. And it would of course also want to be near the iPhone. So it's kind of a secure way of knowing that even if your watch falls into the wrong hands, as long as they don't know your security code, your 4-digit PIN, you're good to go. All right, one more thing. Let's go back to the watch itself. And just to show you a little bit about customizing the faces, if you press and hold on the face, you can then swipe to the various ones. Here's the one that comes up by default. So we can swipe around. There's a butterfly animated, Earth. There's another classic face. Here's one that kind of goes along the sunrise and where it is at any given time, or the sun, I should say. Here's Mickey. So a lot of people will like the Mickey watch where Mickey just kind of dances, taps his foot, letting you know, hey, this is what time it is, tapping my foot. That's of course to the seconds. Haven't had it long enough to know how accurate it is, but Apple promises it's very accurate. And of course, battery life still to be determined, because on day one you're doing a lot of setup and working with it, and the screen's on all the time. So I won't be able to judge battery life until I've got a regular day of use. And when I mean a regular day, a day where I'm not playing, a day where I'm not setting it up. So it might be not, I might not know the battery life until Sunday at the earliest, because I'm sure I'll still be doing some setup tomorrow. But with that said, Apple Watch is here. I'm happy with my purchase. My only criticism at this point, wish my black man were here, but my real only criticism is that some of the apps tend to be a little slow on loading, at least that first load. So I can't judge performance just yet, but it'll be interesting to see how that all comes to play over time, whether the apps are really slow or speed up or whatever. And then when I say slow, it just, like you're used to tapping something on your phone and happening instantly, whereas you tap it on the watch, it might take 2, 3, 4, oh, there it is, seconds to load up or pull the information in. Because you got to remember, it's pulling most of this information from your phone, so that wireless connection has to happen. Another thing that's pretty cool is the Siri integration. So let's take a look. Let's go ahead and activate the watch. And if I press and hold the digital crown, that'll activate Siri. I'm hungry for pizza. And as you can see, Siri understood what I said, found locations where I can get pizza on Apple Maps, showing them to me here, and if I like one, I can actually tap it, and it will load up more information about it. I can make the call, I can see the hours, I can see walking directions. So if I tap walking, then that will show me where I am now, and then load up the directions on how to get there. And again, of course, this is all based on using the geolocation, which of course you gave it access to, and of course your iPhone doing some of the heavy lifting as well. So if I say start, it will tell me where to proceed, and I'll get taptic feel on my wrist when it's time to turn left or turn right. It will basically tap my wrist to let me know it's time to make that turn. All right, so pretty cool there. And let's see if we can get out of that. And now, what about making a phone call? I know this is, for a lot of Dick Tracy fans, if you can remember back that far, we always dreamed of being able to make that call from our watch, just like we saw in the comic books. So let's go ahead and bring up the phone. Now, of course, I could have done it from my favorites, but what I'm going to do is, I could have done it from the favorites on the second button there, but I'm going to go ahead and bring up my regular favorites here, swipe until I find the one I want, and let's give a good old-fashioned Delta a call. So this is dialing Delta Airlines, of course, placing the call through the watch, or through the phone, wirelessly from the watch.
Medallion line. Welcome back, Terry. I'll connect you with a Delta representative who can help.
All right, so if she would have come online, or he or she would have come online, I would have been able to go ahead and talk to him or her directly through the phone. Or I'm sorry, I keep saying phone. Yes, it's connecting through the phone, but I would be able to use the speaker and microphone from the watch to do that. So that is placing a call, and again, you can get to your favorites directly here, and if there's a particular favorite you want to call, for example, if I wanted to call my buddy Bruce or Jason, I could just tap, and then I can tap to place the call, or go ahead and send a text message directly from my watch with some either dictation, as we did for Siri, or some of the built-in responses. So that's just a quick look at the Apple Watch and using Siri and making calls. Now, also, I'll point out on the phone, the App Store went live, so you can see all the third-party apps right on the Apple Watch app on your phone that you can download. These are all, supposedly around 3,000 apps on day one that allow you to work with your Apple Watch. And of course, these are all iPhone apps that have watch components. So you go into your settings and you control which apps appear in your watch. Here, let's go back. Let's go to, there we go, let's go back one. There we go, and you go to your display, and you can go in and again, tell it which apps are going to be on. You can even control the app layout, so you can set that all up here on your iPhone. So that's it for my quick look. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully you got what you needed, at least your initial questions that Apple hadn't already answered on their websites and keynotes. Take care. I'm going to go play with my watch some more.